finally, we're going to dive into the Bitfarms cryptocurrency miners, how much they have, when they got them, what their potential is for earnings, and I'll explain some of the data behind everything that I have here. So if we zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit easier for you guys to see all this. Let's go to 150. Okay. So I went through all the data that I was able to find through their filings, through the press releases, quarterly earnings, annual earnings, everything, going back to 2017. This took me about 4 to 5 hours to pull all this data through. They have a lot of stuff going on. Excuse me. They also had some other miners. They also had miners for mining Litecoin, which were also mining Dogecoin, but those were sold and gotten rid of in the past 2 years, which is a shame because the Dogecoin was obviously rocketing this year. They could have made a lot of money off of Dogecoin if they held on to those, but those are all gone. They also had some GPU miners that they got rid of as well in the last couple of years. And then they also had a couple thousand miners that just went bad on them. So we'll keep an eye on it, see what happens there. And I don't know why this price didn't come through here. And miner S9, it's December 31st. Oh, what happened there? Well, let's fix it. We know that they had that. We had speed of 1390. 1,390. Sorry about this, guys. Something went bust on me. Okay. So now all the data should be in there and complete. So the data that I used for this was from yesterday's pricing on Bitcoin, along with the data from What to Mine on their website. I used all the information I could find on the miners as far as what their hash rate is and what their power draw is. And this column here, the profit per miner, is basically just what their profit is, all their profit, not including any electrical costs in that. I think Bitfarms' electrical costs are around 2 cents a kilowatt hour complete. I'm guessing 2 to 3, so we can always figure that out later on. Excuse me, if we need to. So on November 6th, they announced that they had 3,406 miners, and then they also had some S15 miners as well, 399. Some of those miners went bad, so that's been adjusted for that over the course of the years. December 31st, 2018, they purchased another 6,081, and miners S9. June 30th, another 1,334 miners. They also bought some InnoSilicon T2Ts. They had some of those go bad as well. 1,364 miners. September 9th, 2019, another 4,082. September 13th, some more T3s, 1,000 of those. September 19th, 1,024. And then they bought a bunch of M20S miners, 2,470 and 1,847. And then the following year, they pretty much bought all what's miners, the M31S Plus. Had a hard time finding out what their actually hash rate was. There's some that are 72 terahash, and there are some that are the 80 terahash. So I used kind of a mixture of both, just to kind of get a ballpark figure of what they could be mining and earning. So that went on through December 22nd. So they bought a total of, about 7,000 miners, the M31S. And then on February 19th, they announced M31S Pluses, 4,500 of those. And on March 2nd of 2021, they announced a huge buy-in of 48,000 of those miners. But those are not going to be installed until sometime in 2022, so sometime next year. So I'm not including these miners in any of the projections here down below. March 24th, 21, they announced they bought some more MicroBT M31S Plus miners, and then some more Bitmain S19Js. I think those are the regular ones, not the pros. And those are going to be installed in June, so I'm only counting for half of the year on the price projections. And the Ant miners are going to be installed in October, so I'm only counting a quarter of a year for those projections. Going down here, on April 16th, they announced more MicroBT M31S Plus miners, a total of 496, and another batch of 1,500. Those look like they've been already installed. And then on April 23rd, another What's Miners M30s, another 1,000 of those, and those are going to be installed in batches in September, October, November. So I'm only counting the last 3 months of possible earnings on those. And finally, we have the latest announcement, which was back in May 6th. They announced another 6,600 of the N-Miner S19J Pros. Those are going to be installed in August, September, and October, so I'm also counting out those for the last 3 months excuse me, of the year for price projections. Okay, so now if we get into the details, the nitty and gritty here, looks like their current price to earnings is, they don't have one because their current EPS, earnings per share, is a negative 23 cents on their latest information that I was able to find on Yahoo Finance. They also have a market cap of, was it 1.2 billion roughly, and their share price was at 702, I believe, yesterday. So I came up with shares outstanding was about 145 million. 56,000 shares outstanding, so this is where I came up with the earnings per share, price to earnings if we did a 20, and then current price to current PE. We don't have one because it's a negative current EPS. So here's the data. So based on my calculations, not counting the ones that are going to be installed in 2022, we're looking at $310 million currently for this year that they could possibly mine with the current price of Bitcoin where it's at right now, not including electricity, overhead costs, employees, any purchases, any expansions, not including, this is just pure gross profit from mining the coins at the current levels. So if we look at that and we look at how many shares they have outstanding, we get for the end of the year, EPS per share of $2.14. So if we do a 20 price earnings multiple, we end up with 42.84. That's at current levels, right? So, but if crypto goes up 2x, 3x, and 4x, we can see that the price can go up to, earnings per share can go up to $4.28 for a 2x, 3x is $6.43, 4x is $8.57. So then if we do just a regular price to earnings multiple of 20, we're looking at, for 2x would be $85, for 3x would be $128, and for 4x we're looking at $171. So with these, with the miners, since they also have a difficulty adjustment coming up, with more miners coming online, you got Mara, Hive, you got Riot, everybody that's out there mining is installing equipment. The more miners you have going onto the network, you're going to have a decrease in profitability with the miners because the hash rate of the network is going to go up and the difficulty is going to go up as well, making it harder for them to mine. So based on that, I always go to pretty much a 50% cut in all those, just to be sure that I'm accounting for, obviously, electricity, overhead costs, any spending, anything like that, where I think a good conservative estimate is right around that 50% of what I'm projecting here. So if we think about PE of 20, and we're just looking at the price being where it's at right now, we're looking at probably close to a $21 stock, $21, $25 stock by the end of the year, as long as they provide good guidance and they get the miners installed when they're supposed to get installed, and they have good quarterly results and annual results. So 50% on the 2x, if Bitcoin goes up to, where it's at 44 right now, 45. If it goes up to 90,000, we're looking at possibly a $45 stock. If it goes 3x, over 100,000, we're looking at probably $60 to $80 stock, and then 4x, we're looking at 120, roughly $120 stock, just to be on the conservative side on things. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I spent a lot of time on this, spent like 4 or 5 hours doing this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of my analysis here. If you agree with it or if you don't agree with it, if you think that I missed something or if I could have done something better, I'd love to hear from you. Also, where do you think the price of Bitfarm is going from here? We obviously have a couple more months left in the year before all this happens. We have some miners that still need to be installed, I think. So let me know what you think down below. And that's all I got for you guys. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.